Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. Today I want to share a story that, besides being quite curious, brings something really interesting about how the value of a property can change because of its history. When something like this happens, mixing real estate, architecture, and even a bit of history, I like to dig a little deeper to understand what's behind the headline. And this one, it's more than interesting, it's historic. We're talking about a simple house in Dothan, Illinois, a quiet suburb just outside Chicago. The kind of house you'd probably walk right past until you find out who used to live there. It was built in 1949 and sits on a 4,950 square foot lot. It recently made the news, not for its size or design, but because of the notable figure who grew up there. Here, I'd like to show my screen with real estate sites like Redfin and Zillow with photos of the house before and after and the correlation between the city of Chicago and Dothan and the city views on Google. So here we are on Google Earth. This is Chicago area. This is Lake Michigan, of course. And then here to the south of Chicago, we can see the area of Dothan. Let's get a close up. Here the neighborhood. Let's get this little person here landed in this street. So we landed in what looks like a commercial street. You can see all these commercial buildings, and then down here, down this perpendicular street, there it is. This is the house where the new Pope and his family used to live. Let's see the street. The neighborhood seems to be all from the same era. All these houses, most likely from the 1940s. Let's go back to take another second look. Yeah, there it is. This is where the Pope used to live. Note that the house shown here, it's still before renovations. Here we are in Redfin. And this is not the Pope's house, right? I just brought this in to show this is a very similar house in the neighborhood, so we can see the interior before any renovations to get an idea what the house that Pope used to live in looked like before renovations. So not Pope's house, but a similar one. Zillow, finally again, auction, price unknown. This is the house where the new Pope used to live. As we can see, it's in auction. It's already been renovated. This is the new interior, the outside, the front yard, new fresh paint. This is the new kitchen, dining room, all renovated. And that's why I brought that other house in Redfin to get an idea on a similar house in the neighborhood of what the Pope's house used to look before these renovations. All new tile, cabinets, very different from the original. Here's the basement, still to be finished, and this is probably the downstairs bathroom. This is the back of the house with the backyard. This is actually the house where the Pope used to live, as we can see under auction. Price unknown. The house itself is about 1,200 square feet with 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a basement. It was purchased about a year ago for $66,000. After a good renovation, it went back to the market for $219,000, and shortly after, the price was reduced to just under $200,000. The updates included a new kitchen with granite countertops, new appliances, and that extra basement space for the new owner to use however they like. Well done upgrades, but pretty standard renovations. Now comes the interesting part. This was the childhood home of Pope Leo XIV, the first American Pope in history. So, when that information became public, the owner pulled back the listing. He began reconsidering whether to relist the home at a higher price, keep it as an investment for the long run, or possibly turn into a historic site. About 10 days ago, the house went back on the market but this time through a private auction with bidding open until June 18. According to the listing terms, the seller can accept or reject offers at any time until June 18, which is common in high-end property auctions. However, the story took another turn. After acknowledging the historic importance of the house, the village of Dolton began taking steps to preserve it as a public historic site, possibly in partnership with the Archdiocese of Chicago. According to the city attorney, they tried negotiating with the current owner, but he asked a price that they considered too high. The village then sent a letter to the auction house in an attempt to negotiate. But also according to the attorney, they may acquire the property through eminent domain, which is within their legal rights as a municipality. For 50 years, the Prevost family lived in this house. It was there that they raised their children, including the boy, who would later, now recently, become Pope Leo XIV. That connection turns a modest house into something much bigger, a piece of living history. And that's what I find fascinating about real estate. It's not just about square footage or brand new finishes. A home can carry a story that completely changes how it's perceived and how it's valued. As someone who's followed the market for years and has a passion for architecture and history, I can tell you, these layers of meaning are what make a property truly unique. This house went from being just another renovation opportunity to a potential national landmark, all because of the history it holds. So here's my question to you. Would you invest in a home like this, knowing the connection it carries? Or do you think all the attention it attracts might bring more hassle than it's worth? Let me know in the comments. My name is Marco Morini. If you like this unexpected real estate story, give the video a like, share it, subscribe to the channel, and I see you in the next video.